Most people wake up each morning with an invisible weight on their chest. They may not name it, but they feel it. It whispers, life is hard. Life is a fight. You have to struggle, claw, and compete just to survive. This idea has been passed down through cultures, families, and entire civilizations. The world is a battlefield, and we must spend our days dodging loss, fighting scarcity, and defending ourselves from defeat. And yet, look around. Do you notice how those who cling most fiercely to this belief seem to attract exactly what they fear? The woman convinced she must fight for love finds herself in endless conflict. The man who believes you can't trust anyone is betrayed again and again. The family that repeats, money doesn't grow on trees, seems forever short of what they need. This is the battle illusion that spills onto money. It is not reality. It is a false picture stamped upon the mind. Life, as Florence Scovel Shinn taught, is not a battle at all. Life is a game, and games are not meant to be fought through with bloody knuckles. They are meant to be played. Have you ever been caught in the trap of the battle mind? When you see life and the need for money as a battle, your conscious mind, the part that interprets appearances, becomes a soldier on permanent guard. It sees sickness and expects more sickness. It sees poverty and prepares for further lack. It sees failure and shudders. That will be me next. This battle mind then impresses its images on the subconscious, which Shinn called power without direction. Like steam in an engine or electricity in a wire, it simply obeys whatever is fed into it, whether uplifting or destructive. If fear is the order, fear becomes form. That is why those who continually anticipate disaster seem to walk straight into it. They are not cursed, they are creators, but they are creating on autopilot, hypnotized by the belief that life is against them and holding on to or getting money is a fight. How can you go about reframing the game? Shift the lens and everything changes. Shinn reframes existence in this way. Life is not a war zone. It is a great game of giving and receiving. The rules are simple and they are spiritual. Whatever you sow, you reap. Whatever you send out, in thought, word, or deed, returns multiplied. What you imagine and believe with feeling will sooner or later externalize. This is not poetry. It is law. A farmer who plants corn will not reap roses. A mind that plants images of hate, fear, or lack will not harvest peace, love, or prosperity. But the opposite is gloriously true. If you plant good, by words, by deeds, by pictures in your imagination, you will receive good. Train the imagination to see only righteous desires fulfilled, and the game delivers health, wealth, love, and self-expression. What is the scissors of the mind? Imagination, Shinn tells us, is the scissors of the mind. It cuts the pattern, and the subconscious sews it into fabric. You will meet your own mental cuttings in the outer world. This is why careless joking, casual negativity, or obsessive fear are so dangerous. The subconscious does not laugh. It does not argue. It records. If you say often enough, "I'm tired of this house. I wish I lived in a trunk," as one woman did, you may find yourself, quite literally, living out of a trunk. The battle and money illusion thrives on unconscious imagination. The soldier mind rehearses disaster. The subconscious carries out the orders. The tragedy? Most people never realize they are giving the commands. The story of the widow. Take the case of the little girl who loved to play widow. She dressed in black, paraded around with a veil, and amused her family. Yet her imagination was stamping the subconscious with the picture of widowhood. Years later, she married a man she adored. Not long after, he died, and she found herself clothed in the very mourning garment she had once played at. Was she doomed? No. She was simply playing the game unconsciously, reinforcing the battle illusion through pictures of loss. Breaking the illusion? To shatter the battle and money illusion, we must learn who we truly are. We are not soldiers conscripted into a cruel war. We are players in a divine game, equipped with 3 levels of mind: the conscious mind, the chooser, but often deceived by appearances; the subconscious mind, raw power, faithful servant, executing every impression; the superconscious, the God mind, the seat of perfect patterns, the divine design for your life. Your destiny is not random. It is encoded in the divine design, a unique path no one else can walk. When you glimpse it, it may feel too good to be true. In truth, it is more real than any appearance of lack or failure. A different kind of victory. The woman who came to Shinn with just $8 could have tightened her armor and marched into the battlefield of scarcity. She could have looked for work in drudgery, believing survival required a fight. Instead, she chose to play the game. She followed a hunch, blessed the little she had, and affirmed, "Infinite Spirit, open the way for great abundance." She is an irresistible magnet for all that belongs to her by divine right. The result? A chance connection brought her thousands of dollars. No struggle, no battle, no money illusion, just law fulfilled. The first move. The battle illusion says, wait and see. Maybe life will spare you. Maybe life will give you the money and wealth you want. The game says, you move first. Ask, and it shall be given. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and the door opens. Every desire is a demand, already stirring infinite intelligence to respond. The only obstacle is fear. Fear of lack, fear of failure, fear that good is too fragile to trust. But fear is nothing but inverted faith. It is belief in evil instead of good. Reverse it, and you step out of the trench and onto the playing field. Why you need a new record. Your subconscious is a phonograph recording every word. The coughs, the hesitations, the idle phrases, they are all etched in. If you wish to change the music of your life, you must break the old records. Here is Shinn's spoken dynamite. I now smash and demolish, by my spoken word, every untrue record in my subconscious mind. They shall return to the dust heap of their native nothingness, for they came from my own vain imaginings. I now make my perfect records through the Christ within, the records of health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. Say it aloud. Say it with conviction. You are not a soldier doomed to repeat inherited battles. You are a creator, free to set new grooves, to play new music. Seeing through the smoke. The battle and money illusion will not disappear overnight. The world still chants its slogans. Life's tough. You can't win. It's a dog-eat-dog world. I'm broke and busted. But when you hear these, pause. Recognize them as enemy propaganda, false signals designed to keep you enlisted in a war that does not exist. Instead, choose the player's stance. See clearly your good. Cut new patterns with the scissors of the mind. Speak words that bless, not curse. Follow intuition as the umpire of divine order. Then you will discover that life was never your opponent. It was always your game. Let this line burn itself into your consciousness. There is a place that you are to fill, and no one else can fill. And it's not a battlefield trench. A sacred place in the divine design, your rightful square in the great game of life. Step into it and the illusion of battle and the lack of money dissolves. If you like what you are hearing, write in the comments and tell us where in the world you are listening from. The spiritual rules of play. Every game has rules. Without them, play descends into chaos. Imagine sitting down for chess, but being told the knight may sometimes move like a rook, or perhaps like a queen, depending on mood. Imagine a basketball match where the hoop counts for 2 points on Monday, but 12 on Wednesday. You would throw up your hands in frustration. What's the point of playing if nothing is consistent? Now consider life. How many people move through their days believing it has no consistent laws? They chalk outcomes up to luck, chance, or the favor of an arbitrary universe. They watch others succeed and say, "She's lucky." They suffer setback and mutter, "That's just my fate." In truth, they are like players who never bothered to learn the rules of the game they're in. Florence Scovel Shinn said it clearly. Life is a game, and it is a game of giving and receiving. The rules are ancient, woven into scripture, into nature, into the very fabric of consciousness. They are not hidden. They are simply ignored. Once you know them, the game becomes not only winnable, but joyous. Rule 1: Sowing and reaping. The first and simplest rule: what you send out returns. Give love, and love comes back. Give criticism, and criticism circles round to you. Sow dishonesty, and you will be lied to. Sow generosity, and you will reap abundance. This is not moralism, it is mechanics. The law operates whether you believe it or not. It makes no exceptions, just as gravity does not care if you meant to drop the glass. And just like a farmer who plants corn will not wake to find roses, you will harvest in kind with what you've planted in thought, word, and deed. The untrained player complains, "Why does this always happen to me?" The trained player looks back at what seeds they've been scattering with their tongue, their imagination, their casual judgments, and understands. Rule 2: The imaging faculty. The second rule is subtler, but just as relentless. What you continually imagine, you eventually externalize. The subconscious is a faithful servant. It does not reason, it does not laugh, it does not filter. It only accepts impressions and reproduces them in detail. Every picture rehearsed in the theater of your mind is an order to the subconscious to build the set. Consider the man Shinn wrote of who feared a rare disease. He obsessed over it, read about it, pictured it daily. His subconscious, receiving constant rehearsals of illness, produced it. Fear gave him exactly what he rehearsed. Or the woman who as a child played widow. Later she lived the very scene she had once dramatized. The rule is merciless, yes, but also merciful. For the same imagination that can create lack can also create abundance. Picture health, and health grows. Picture love, and love is magnetized. Picture fulfillment, and fulfillment makes its way to you. Picture wealth, and wealth overtakes you. Rule 3: The 3 minds. To play the game well, you must know the positions of the players on your own team. Conscious mind. This is the chooser, the director of attention. It sees life as it appears: lack, sickness, limitation. If untrained, it will simply feed these appearances into the subconscious. Subconscious mind. Raw power. It never initiates, never argues. It obeys. It is like electricity. It will light your home or burn it down, depending on the wiring. Superconscious mind. The God mind within. It holds a divine pattern for your life, the perfect picture Plato hinted at. This is the realm of destiny, of the assignment only you can fulfill. It whispers as intuition, as too good to be true flashes of possibility. Most people live between the conscious and subconscious, cycling between fear images and their physical results. They never tune into the superconscious, the part that holds their true game plan. But the skilled player learns to quiet fear, to follow intuition, and to trust that the superconscious design is not fantasy, but reality waiting to be claimed. Rule 4. Substitution. Sometimes we lock onto a desire that is not part of our divine design. We may believe happiness hinges on a specific job, house, or person. Yet Shinn warns, forcing what does not belong to us only brings failure or dissatisfaction. Here, the law of substitution comes in. When you release what is not right, it is replaced by what is right, with no loss. Consider the woman who asked Shinn to speak the word that she would marry a certain man. Let's call him A.B. Shinn refused to force destiny. Instead, she affirmed the right man, the divine selection. Soon the woman discovered her attraction to A.B. fading, and a new man appeared, one who spoke every word she had longed to hear. Her desire was not denied. It was substituted with its true fulfillment. The rule is clear. Never insist on the wrong piece. Affirm the divine equivalent, and the right piece will slide into place. Rule 5. The spoken word. Your words are not idle. They are creative commands. By your words, you are justified, and by your words, you are condemned. Shinn recounts how one woman, tired of housework, often joked, "I wish I lived in a trunk." Soon she was. Another woman continually joked about preparing for the poorhouse. Within a few years, her wealth evaporated. The subconscious does not recognize humor. It takes every word literally and builds it into form. But the law works both ways. Words of blessing, faith, and gratitude build good as surely as words of complaint build lack. Even $8, blessed and multiplied, can attract a fortune. Rule 6. Ask, seek, knock. The universe is not stingy. Infinite intelligence stands ready to carry out your smallest or greatest demand, but it waits for you to initiate. Ask. Speak your desire clearly. Seek. Act on intuition. Take steps toward the good you envision. Knock. Persist. Keep the vision alive until the door opens. Every desire, Shinn said, is already a demand on infinite intelligence. What you long for is proof there is something to meet it. Your part is to hold the faith, erase the fear, and move forward in expectancy. Rule 7. Faith over fear. If fear is inverted faith, then the cure is simple. Reverse it. Shinn tells of a man who erased fear from his mind by reading a sign, "Why worry? It will probably never happen." The phrase stamped his subconscious so deeply that he now lives with unshakable conviction that only good can come to him. And so it does. Fear is the only true enemy in this game. Not failure, not lack, not loss, but the pictures of these things rehearsed in the mind. When replaced with faith, the stage clears for divine order to unfold. Reigning for mastery. These rules are not meant to intimidate. They are meant to empower. Once you know them, you can begin to train. Monitor your words. Replace careless curses with intentional blessings. Guide your imagination. Visualize good, not disaster. Release what is not yours. Affirm divine selection in love, work, wealth, and opportunity. Act on intuition, the signal from the superconscious. Replace fear with faith. Speak words that calm and assure. As with any game, practice makes mastery. But mastery is not perfection. It is progress. Each time you replace an old pattern with a new word, each time you bless instead of curse, you strengthen your position on the board. Life is not chaos. It is not war. It is a perfectly ordered game with laws as sure as gravity. The untrained player stumbles and cries, "Fate." The trained player learns the rules and plays with joy. Let this truth anchor you. The kingdom is within you, the realm of right ideas, the divine pattern, and all these things shall be added unto you. If you agree, write in the comments, "I will learn the rules and play with joy." The mirror of stories. We learn best not from rules, but from stories. A parable, a simple tale, often slips past the defenses of the rational mind and plants its truth directly in the heart. Florence Scovel Shinn understood this. She didn't only state the laws of life, she showed them at work through the dramas of ordinary people. Each story she told was a mirror. In it, the reader could see their own habits, fears, and possibilities reflected back. These tales were not meant to entertain. They were meant to awaken. Let us step into a few of these mirrors and see what they reveal. The Woman and the Trunk. A woman once enjoyed a lovely home filled with beautiful things, but instead of gratitude, she grew weary of managing it all. Over and over she sighed, "I'm sick and tired of these things. I wish I lived in a trunk." Years later, she lost her possessions and found herself living exactly as she had joked, in a trunk. The moral is sharp. The subconscious does not laugh. It takes every word as command and executes it. What you joke about, you may live. This story is a mirror. How many of us speak careless phrases each day? "This job will kill me. I'm always broke. I'll probably get sick." These words are not harmless. They are blueprints. The trunk may be physical, financial, or emotional, but the pattern is the same. The invitation. Catch the careless phrases, replace them. Speak what you do desire. The widow's play. As a child, another woman liked to play widow. She dressed in black and amused her family by wearing a veil. She did this so often that the picture etched itself onto her subconscious. Later, as an adult, she married a man she deeply loved. Soon after, he died. She became the very widow she once pretended to be. The story is sobering, yet it exposes a law. What you consistently imagine, you eventually externalize. The subconscious is impartial. It does not ask whether the picture is just pretend. It only knows to reproduce. This mirror shows us the danger of indulging in fantasies of loss, disaster, or self-pity. Every image is a seed. Seeds, when watered by attention, grow. The invitation: guard the imagination. Play only the scenes you wish to live. $8 and a hunch. One summer's day, a discouraged woman came to Shinn. She had only $8 to her name. She asked for help in prosperity. Instead of pitying her, Shinn blessed the money. "We'll multiply it as Jesus multiplied the loaves and fishes." She told the woman to follow intuition. "Do you have a hunch to do anything or to go anywhere?" The woman hesitated. "Well, I have a hunch to go home. I have just enough for the fare," logic said. "Stay in the city, get work, earn money." But Shinn said, "Never violate a hunch." The woman returned home. There, she reconnected with an old family friend. That connection led to thousands of dollars arriving in her life. The mirror is radiant. Intuition is the map of divine order. When followed, it leads to provision that logic could never predict. The invitation: honor the small nudges. Treat them as sacred. They are not random thoughts. They are instructions from the superconscious. The Rose Tree Wish. One Easter, Shinn admired the rose trees in shop windows. She wished for one and saw in her imagination a rose tree being carried through her door. The next day, a friend brought her flowers. Not roses, but lilies. Yet the delivery man mistakenly sent a rose tree instead. The subconscious had already received the picture, and life obeyed. This mirror teaches a clear, momentary image can activate the law as strongly as years of desire. When aligned with faith, the result is compelled to appear, even through mix-ups and accidents. The invitation: do not dismiss your desires as silly. Even a fleeting, faith-filled picture has power to shape reality. The poorhouse joke. Another woman, wealthy and comfortable, often joked, "I'm getting ready for the poorhouse." Within a few years, she lost almost everything. She had built the poorhouse with words, brick by careless brick. This mirror reveals words spoken repeatedly build structures in the unseen until you must live inside them. The invitation: use repetition consciously. If every idle joke is a seed, let every repeated word be a blessing. A, B, or the right man. A woman begged Shinn to help her marry a man she loved. A, B. She was convinced he was the key to her happiness. Shinn refused to speak the word for a specific man. That would violate spiritual law, she explained. Instead, she affirmed the divine selection, the right man. She told the woman, if AB is yours, you cannot lose him. If not, you will receive his equivalent. Soon the woman's feelings for AB faded. She met another man who immediately loved her, who said every word she had wished AB would say. She realized the uncanny perfection of the substitution. The mirror reveals divine law does not take from you. It replaces wrong ideas with right ones. There is no loss when you release what does not belong to you. The invitation: stop clutching, release. Trust that the right equivalent will come without struggle. Why these stories matter. What makes these stories powerful is not their drama but their ordinariness. They are not tales of saints or heroes. They are the lives of ordinary people, each caught in the simple mechanics of spiritual law. The woman with the trunk did not know she was programming her subconscious. The child playing widow did not know imagination plants, seeds for the future. The poorhouse joker did not know words become houses. The woman with $8 did not know intuition opens golden doors. The rose tree wish proves desires, once pictured, must find expression. The woman clinging to AB did not know divine law, substitutes wrong attachments with right ones. Each story is a mirror because each of us has spoken carelessly, imagined fearfully, joked idly, or clutched desperately. The mirror shows the result, not to condemn us, but to wake us up. Writing your new story. The game is not rigged, it simply reflects. If you do not like what you see, change the script. Mind your words. Imagine the story you want told about your finances, your health, your relationships. Begin speaking lines from that script. Rehearse better scenes. Picture not tragedy, but fulfillment. Make your mental theater a rehearsal for joy. Bless the small. Even $8 when blessed becomes a magnet for abundance. Follow intuition. Trust the hunch. It is your superconscious casting you into the right role. Release what is not yours. Let wrong ideas fall away, so right ones may replace them. Your life is not written in stone. It is written in thought, word, and image, every moment. The subconscious is still recording. The divine design is still waiting. The next chapter of your story can be beautiful if you choose to play it differently. Let this truth linger. Every thought, every word is impressed upon the subconscious and carried out in amazing detail. The stories of others are mirrors. But the story of your life is being written now. Choose your words, choose your pictures, and watch the mirror reflect them back. If you agree, write in the comments, I choose my words and my pictures to watch the mirror reflect them back. Now, the hidden self. Beneath the noise of daily life, beneath your name, your career, your roles, and your fears, there is another you. This is not the self who worries about bills, or argues with traffic, or counts calories. It is not the self shaped by family expectations or cultural slogans. That outer self is temporary, like clothing you put on for a season. The real you is hidden, yet nearer than your breath. Florence Scovel Shinn called it the superconscious mind, the God mind within. It carries your divine design, the perfect pattern of your life. To know this self is to shift identity from pawn to player, from struggler to creator, from lack to abundance. The masks we mistake for self. Most people live trapped in false identities. They mistake the conscious mind, the carnal or reasoning mind, for the whole of who they are. This mind is clever but fearful. It sees limitation and calls it fact. It sees disease, poverty, or betrayal, and calls them destiny. The conscious mind clings to appearances. If money seems scarce, it insists scarcity is reality. If love disappoints, it insists love is dangerous. It is a voice of caution, forever rehearsing the worst. We might call it the masked self, the persona shaped by history, wounds, and appearances. But beneath the mask is the hidden self, glowing with an entirely different truth. 3 levels of being. Shinn mapped the self into the following 3 departments: conscious mind, masked self, the analyzer, observer of appearances. It has free will but little vision. Left untrained, it feeds fear images into the subconscious. Subconscious mind, servant self. Raw power, faithful servant. It stores impressions and brings them into form, whether true or false. Like a fertile soil, it grows weeds or roses with equal energy. Superconscious mind, hidden self, the God mind within. It holds the divine design, your destiny, your perfect pattern, the blueprint of who you truly are and what you are here to bring. To identify only with the conscious or subconscious is to live small, trapped in fear or habit. To identify with the superconscious is to live expansive, aligned with divine order. The divine design. Plato spoke of perfect forms, the eternal patterns beyond the shadows on the cave wall. Shinn called this the divine design. It is the original template of your life, crafted not by accident, but by infinite intelligence. Within it is the work you alone can do, the place you alone can fill, the contribution only you can make, the love, health, and expression that fit you like a custom garment. You have glimpsed this design, perhaps in childhood, in a flashes of joy or imagination. You felt a calling that seemed too good to be true. Perhaps in quiet moments you've dreamed of a life so radiant it scared you. Those glimpses were not delusions. They were signals from the hidden self, flashing across your consciousness. The tragedy of ignorance. Most people ignore these flashes. They think, that could never be for me. Instead, they pursue goals that do not belong to them. They chase careers that please parents, relationships that appease loneliness, possessions that impress neighbors. Even when they succeed, they feel hollow. This is the tragedy of ignorance, striving for the wrong picture. To win at the wrong game is still to lose. Shinn told of the woman who wanted to marry A.B. She insisted he was her destiny, but the hidden self knew better. When she released her grip, the right man appeared, her true equivalent, the fit designed for her life. The lesson: your true good cannot be taken from you, but you can waste years chasing counterfeits if you ignore the divine design. Listening to the hidden self. How do we access this deeper identity? Through intuition. Intuition is not guesswork or impulse. It is the voice of the superconscious, whispering into consciousness. It is the map of the divine design. It may appear as a hunch, a sudden knowing, a small inner nudge. The woman with $8 followed a hunch to go home, against logic. That intuition connected her to abundance. The rose tree appeared because Shinn briefly saw it mentally before it manifested physically. Each instance was a crack in the mask where the hidden self broke through. To live by intuition is to let the hidden self guide the play. Identity shift from mask to true self. Imagine shifting your eye from the fearful conscious mind to the radiant superconscious. Instead of saying, "I am broke," you say, "I am supplied with every good thing by divine right." "I am unlucky in love" becomes, "I am guided to right relationships, and what is mine cannot be lost." "I'm afraid of failure" becomes, "I'm aligned with the divine design, and success is inevitable." This is not positive thinking layered on top of fear. It is recognition. The self you thought you were was never the whole story. You are more than your history, more than appearances, more than the mask. The identity shift is moving allegiance. No longer do you give loyalty to the masked self with its panic and stories. You give loyalty to the hidden self, the true player who already holds the perfect script. Practical ways to align. Daily affirmation. Use Shinn's clearing words to erase false identity and affirm the true. I now smash and demolish every untrue record in my subconscious mind. I now make my perfect record through the Christ within, the records of health, wealth, love, and perfect self-expression. Follow the nudge. Treat every hunch as sacred. The small whisper to call a friend, visit a place, or take a step may be the superconscious arranging your good. Release counterfeits. If a pursuit feels forced, draining, or hollow, consider it may not be yours. Pray for substitution. If this is not mine by divine right, let it go, and let the right equivalent appear. Visualize the true self. Spend time each day picturing yourself living your divine design. Radiant health, joyful work, loving relationships. Feel it real. Let the imagination cut this pattern for the subconscious to sow. The freedom of the hidden self. The more you align with the hidden self, the freer you feel. You stop competing, you stop envying. Why? Because you know, there is a place only you can fill. Your good is not another's good. Your path is not another's path. The game is not zero-sum. Divine design is abundant enough for all. When you trust this, you let others play their game while you play yours. Jealousy dissolves. Strain softens. You become free to celebrate others, knowing your own destiny is intact. The echo of Christ. Jesus framed it simply, the kingdom of God is within you. The kingdom is not a far-off heaven, but the realm of right ideas, the hidden self carrying the divine pattern. To seek this kingdom first is to let the hidden self lead, and then all these things shall be added unto you. Identity is destiny. If you believe you are merely a struggling mortal, life will reflect struggle. If you awaken to the truth that you are the bearer of a divine design, life will reflect that pattern with precision. Hold this line close. There is a place that you are to fill, and no one else can fill. Something you are to do, which no one else can do. That place is your hidden self, waiting to be revealed.